G'day again, it's me. I'm still on the same day, still dealing with the same little lawnmower, my Rover 450 series, the Snotter, as I've mentioned before, and I'm going to put it back together and see if she runs. So hopefully I might have fixed some problems. I think I mentioned in the last video we had issues with stopping, or starting first and foremost. Stopping, it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't turn it off. You had to sit there and choke it out by putting your hand over the carby and suffocating it, basically, and just starving it of oxygen. So now that I've done some bits, I thought I'd throw it back together. And yeah, so we'll see how we go. See if she starts and stops. If she doesn't, I don't know, actually. The mate wants it. I said no, because it's me girl. And I said, no, we've got to get it back up and running. So anyway, here we go. Just a simple thing. I'm basically putting the top plate back on. There's no issues with that. This is another one of those, not teaching you how to suck eggs. But, sorry about the hand in front. That's got to go. Oh, here we go. Already started on the wrong foot, haven't I? Something's got to rest there, so the spark plug cable doesn't get hurt and damaged. And then some magnets on the back of that got him. We just got to put him in. Nice and easy, nice back into place. Now I did find with these things, as old as they are, none of the bolts are lined up. So it was a bit of a hit and miss, trial and error. I do normally label and number my nuts and bolts, as anal as that sounds. Just to get a bit of a, that's not going to work. It's yeah, I'm a bit OCD when it comes to certain things. As you can see by the cleanliness of my shed, I think I sweep this more than I sweep my house. And there goes a nut. Oh! That my wife probably detests as much as I love her. A shed is a man's little cave of household horrors. But we'll get some nuts and bolts going. This is only a new shed for me, which is good. I've only just sort of got him set up the way I want to. Still some bits and pieces I need to do, but little bolt at the front. Basically there's 3 bolts. Obviously if you pulled it apart, you know where the bolts are. Oh, lovely weather of ours in Perth, Western Australia, or in Bunbury more so to speak, is a bit wet. And yeah, it's not the greatest at the moment. And oh my goodness gracious me, it's not playing the game. Now, those bolts and nuts, I do believe, were a 5/16. 5/16 on the old Spanner-Rudy. I don't know what I'm showing you this for. You can't read the bloody thing. Just believe me, 5/16. No. 3/8. 3/8 of an inch. I don't know why. I'll have to explain that. Oh, socket with one hand. 3/8 of an inch. US model. Obviously not metric, so it's not Japanese. It's no Honda. And I'm trying to do a socket with one hand. A great video, this one. Anyway, I like making things hard for myself. This is a bit more of a challenge. My wife thinks I'm an idiot because I do shit like this, but, you know, just nip it up for now. Nip up all 3. And then at least, once you get them all situated and so on and so forth, you can then go back around and give it a bit of a tight. Now, I don't know what the torque settings are. Oop, that one's going on the piss a bit. I don't know what the torque settings are. I haven't actually gone too in-depth with it. I haven't really cared, to be honest. It's just holding the cap on as long as it makes contact with the starter when you ripcord it. And yeah, she goes and she goes. If she doesn't, well then you know you've done it. You don't snap them off, basically. Just nip them up to a point where they're finger tight and then give them a bit of a turn over. the bolt will let you know if it's gone in too bloody far, because it will no longer be a bolt. It will be a headless threaded bit of steel. Oh, hit the camera with the socket. And yeah, bit of a tighten up with that one. So go to tight. Comes to a stop. Give it a nip over. And then, same with the other two. Come to stop. Nip it over. Nip that one like so. And nippity nip nip. And now, yeah, we have the setting the, I won't put that there, I do have a workbench for a reason. The other little bolt. This is for your cable guide, I suppose, which then, I didn't realise this too, that I used to just put these things, I don't know why I've got the camera over there for, you can tell I'm a rookie at this, a bit of a rookie move. I thought, doesn't matter, I thought this little sucker here was just basically holding the cable there against the motor itself for not so much aesthetics, but just to keep it out of the way. I had no idea if you move the cable through that way or this way, the opposite way, that it governs the travel basically of your throttle plate there. I had no idea. A mate of mine corrected me on that one, and I felt like an idiot at the time. Hang on, over here for a screwdriver. There we go. I was going to get a flathead. Normally I do it with, which is a 5/16 nut. I don't use lock screws on that one, but tighten him up and just nip it up to the body for now, or actually even give it a spacing, because I do have to govern the travel distance. You do it too far, you have the cable too far sucked this way, then this little sucker here won't travel around as far. So obviously if you have that attached there, then you're going back up to here to your throttle control. Yep, this one either travels in out a lot or not enough. You haven't come too far. It seems to foul on this little block here for some reason, which then negates the earthing on that little the tab that we spoke about in the last video. That little sucker there, which was causing my problem for my motor not to shut down. So if you foul on that part, which the governor spring's in the bloody way, this little square section just there, it won't shut off. So governing, there's that word again, the distance on travel is by the cable tensioner, or what I call cable tensioner. So now that I've got that and I'm coming around, it makes contact with that, but it doesn't come too far. So I believe that's got enough travel. Also catches underneath the filler here, or the air cooler, air filter capping, so it sits under there nice and snug, makes contact with that. So as far as I'm aware, we can now nip that up and whoops, that's why I don't like using screwdrivers. Bust the bolt apart. Nip it up. Doesn't have to be too tight, just enough so it can actually hold. So now, obviously, she won't move in and move out. She can't travel in, can't go that way, can't go this way. But now it tells you that it's in the right spot, because travel in, throttle up, throttle down, doesn't make contact with that square. We fixed that issue in the last video where this section here was bent up a little bit too much. Now it's bent down perfectly, so it actually makes contact with the earth out, so the actual motor shuts itself off. So we'll put that back like so. Make sure that this is actually grabbing the flywheel with the fins. All your nuts, all three nuts and bolts are tightened up. So this thing, I did it before, didn't bother to put the bolts back in, and she went flying when I gave it a rip, and yeah, almost broke me back. So it's great. So spark plug. What did I say last time? No sparky sparky. No owie wowie. Well, we've put it all back together. Make sure that oil cap is filled back up. And the oil can come back out the top. Not that it's going to, I've just put some new oil in it. What I was using is another, I haven't got clarification on it yet, but there's a whole lot of oils and stuff you can use for these particular SAEs or small air-cooled engines. I've been told I use the most expensive oil, but yeah, Penrite 5 weight or 5W-30 oil in this thing. You probably get a lot of video, a lot of people commenting saying, oh, it's not the smartest thing to do, but that is what I've used because of the environment that I'm in. Cold weather starts sometimes, and big variances on hot and cold temperatures. I use that, so that's what I like. A lot of people won't. If you do, you don't. If you don't, you do. You know the deal. Anyway, oil filter. Oil filter. Air cleaner's off. So I'm going to try and attempt to start it. Well, I will be able to start it with this off. And yeah, we'll give it a crack and see how we go. Mum's going to be in the camera, so don't mind that. Anyway, because I've got the plunger problem, there seems to be no fuel getting up in there. So if it works, it works. If not, I'll just have to prime it with a bit of fuel out of the tin. Doesn't even sound like fuel. Oh well. Blades are up off the floor, so I'm not hacking into your lovely floor. And then see how we go. And she stops because I've fixed up the actual contact with the earthing wire. One of those things that I said I had no idea what the hell it was for. But now she shuts off. That's a good thing. I'll do it once again just to make sure I'm not fluking it. But as you can hear, probably the revs are way too high. Figuring that out as we go as well. But anyway, put your back behind it. I might give it a bit of a don't make any comment on how I'm doing this either. That's how I do it. Bit more throttle. Happy days, it shuts off. Wouldn't shut off before. What I ended up having to do was take the air filter off, stick my finger in here, and then close the the valve body over every time. If not, putting your hand over your carby, starting from oxygen, and then obviously, like you say, with the 3 compounds of making fire or bang and pop, is you got your fuel, you got your oxygen, and then you've got your heat. Spark creates the heat, fuel creates the fuel, oxygen for the O2, or the O2 of the oxygen. Same thing really. We won't go into that. I lift things for a living. I'm not that smart, but anyway. So happy days. It stops. Now I've just got to get that plunger sorted. Anyway, have a good one.